Can you guys guess what body part we're talking about today? That's right, we're talking about our skeleton. Mrs. Newmeyer here, and I'm my skeleton buddy here to tell us about, help tell us about our skeleton, the bones that make up our body. So here's our week 9 body parts that you'll get from your tutor. Now, what color do you see the bones are? Yeah, they're white. And so if you don't want to color them, no problem. We can keep those ones white. We'll just cut those out later. And so you can look here as we are talking about the bones of our body. Now, there are a lot of bones in our body. Can you guess how many? Did you say 60? Higher? 100? Higher. There are 206 bones in our body. If you look at like our hands and our feet, there's so many bones that make up our skeleton. It's a framework that holds our entire body together. Without it, we would just flop on the ground because we need that structure in order to hold our body up. Pretty cool. Now, bones are light and hard because they are very airy inside, and when you're a baby, they're actually really soft, and as you get older, they get harder and harder, and so when you're an adult, your bones are nice and hard, and they protect the different body parts in your body. Like we have our ribs here to protect our heart and our lungs. We've got our skull to protect our brain. And we've got all these different body parts that help keep us upright. Let me show you all the way down to the feet. Look at all those bones in the feet as well. Now, another thing cool about our bones is it manufactures blood cells in the bones. Such a cool thing. Now, also holding our body together at these different parts are joints and ligaments. I have a picture I'll show you of that. Joints, ligaments, cartilage. Like here's an example where two bones meet. We have a joint here that there's fluid, cartilage, and ligaments to hold those bones together and create that joint that can pivot, like our elbows and our knee joints that can pivot. Our ball and socket joint is like our hip joint here. It's a big one here, and this is our vertebrae. It's called a pivot joint. Since we're talking about bones, I thought it'd be fun to show you a few X-rays. I have this cool book here that has X-rays of pets. Here's one here. I have it on a little place here where there's a light behind it so we can see the bones really well. Bones of a bearded dragon lizard. Isn't this cool? So you can see there the vertebrae and the different bones throughout his body and his rib cage here, and you can see his legs coming down here and his arms out to the side here. Another one, I have a horse foot. Now, isn't this cool? Look at, you can see those ball and socket joints I was talking about there, so where the joints meet. All right, here is, what do you think this is? This is a cat. You can see his skull. You can even see its teeth. All right, here's another one. See if you can guess what it is. Oops, it's going to be on its side. This is a parrot. Do you see its wings out to the side here? You can see his skull and his beak, rib cage, vertebrae. All right, another one. See if you can guess. This is a boa constrictor snake. Do you see its vertebrae? Lots and lots of ribs in the snake. All right, what's this one? This is a kitten. You can see its legs, leg bones, his vertebrae. And there it must be sleeping. It's got his little head there. All right, here's a close-up of a dog paw. Has lots of bones in it, just like the human has all these little bones and joints. Here's its, what we would call our wrist, but it's the dog's wrist. All right, now I bet you wonder what happens if a bone is broken and what that looks like. So I've got an X-ray here of a dog broken leg. And so here's where the bone has split. And that's why when you break your bones, you put in a cast and it grows, it is supported, and then it can grow back together to be strong again. Wow, isn't that amazing that a break could happen like this, and then over just a period of a few weeks that it can heal and can be strong again. Wow, so cool. Our next body part are our muscles. I'll show you some pictures here. Look at how many muscles we have in our body. Now, we thought we had a lot of bones, which we certainly do. But can you guess how many muscles we have in our body? So, I'll give you a hint. It's more than our bones. So, it's going to be more than 200, right? What do you think? 300? Higher? 400? Higher? 500? Go even higher. We have more than 600 muscles in our body. They're kind of these elastic cells and fibers that move our bones, move our bodies, kind of like strings on a puppet. Now, they work in pairs. I'll show you this picture. It shows it really well. Because as one is contracting, like in this picture, our bicep is being contracted, the tricep, which is the one underneath here, is relaxed. So here's a picture of when the biceps are relaxed, the triceps contract. And so our muscles work together where one is contracting while the other is relaxing, and that moves the muscles, moves the parts of our body that we want to move. It also holds our organs in place. So we have muscles in our abdomen that hold our organs in place. And then, like when we talked about when we were doing our deep breathing, we have a diaphragm, which is also a muscle that helps our lungs move. Our heart, remember we talked about our heart is a muscle, and that moves our body, our blood throughout our body. So our muscles are so important to so many things. It also, what does it help us do? It helps us move our mouth, chew our food, talk, play, run, even smile. There's muscles in our mouth here in our face that help us smile. Did you know that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile? So, hey, give your muscles a break and smile more. Our next body part is our stomach. Our stomach is a stretchy bag down here at the bottom of our esophagus, and it breaks down food. Now, I want to show you another picture. Did you know that it takes about 10 seconds from when food enters our mouth and we chew it for it to get down to our stomach, which is about right here? And it mashes the food like it's kneading dough and breaks it down and stirs it up with the juices in there so that it's ready to go into our intestines. Now, our stomachs can hold about 2 quarts of food. Now, it would be awfully uncomfortable to do that because I'll show you how much a quart is. Here's a quart jar. Do you think your stomach could hold 2 of these full? I don't even want to try. That sounds mighty uncomfortable. But 2 quarts, it can stretch like a bag and fill up with food. And then when it's done, it can shrink back down, kind of like a balloon when it's deflated. All right, and then it has this, I want to show you another picture here. Here's it filled with food, and there's a little door essentially here that's called a sphincter that closes up so that it can stay in your stomach for about 4 hours so that it can be kneading it and giving it the juices that it needs in order to break it down before it goes into the intestines. And then when it's ready, it opens up and it squeezes it out and it goes on to the rest of the body, which we'll talk about in our next video. Next, we have our bones to put on our body, our skeleton, right? We're going to start with this bone where it's that ball and socket at the hip. You can see this one where it has this part right here. That's where it goes into the hip bone. So we're going to put that here, and then the kneecap's right there in the middle of the knee. And then the rest of the leg, the two leg bones down here, it connects at the kneecap and then goes down to the foot. And then we have our foot. Let me get some glue on that. And we're going to put that down here at the bottom. So we have our skeleton. And then on the other leg, we're going to show our muscles. So I'll get some glue on there. And we've got our big leg muscle here and our thigh. And then we've got our connecting at the kneecap, calf, and our shin muscles here. And then our foot muscles will go down here at the bottom. So one side shows our bones and the other shows our muscles, because the muscles go over the top of the bones. And so then it looks like that. And then our final organ for this part is going to be the stomach. And we'll put that right here. It's going to go underneath the heart, and it is going to be overlapping our spleen and our gallbladder a little bit. So what we're going to do is just put a little bit of glue just right in the middle there. There's a dot there that on the front side. And so basically on the back side, that's where we're going to be putting our glue. So let me get some glue on mine here so you can see that. So I've got the glue in the back there. This part is the part that connects to the esophagus, and this is the part that connects to the small intestine. We don't have an esophagus here, but that's okay. Generally, it's about right there, where in front of the heart there. It will be right under the heart, and then that's where that one's going to go. So that's it for our project today. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye!